Welcome to the ARW discussion, folks. I see we got Digger up, JC Machine Works, Steve Lang, and Frank Ward out there already making comments. So, happy 4th of July to everybody. And I hope you don't have too many fireworks to sleep tonight. I live outside of Houston. Of course, fireworks are illegal in Houston. Everything is. And down the street from me about a mile, there's at least 2 or 3 fireworks stands. So, there's plenty of action around here normally.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Instagram said today somebody's going to lose fingers. Somebody in the United States lose fingers.
That's just a normal hazard from growing up.
Yeah, it's not the 4th of July without a trip to the burn ward.
When I was in 6th grade, somebody had these. They were about 3 inches long and about 5/8 in diameter, and had about a 24-inch long fuse. But the last section of that fuse would just burn in a snap. And we had lifted, we put it under a sewer grate. It blew the sewer grate up. We were at a track practice, and they were going to light the thing off. And they kept trying to get it to light, and it wouldn't light. And they kept breaking off the fuse. And I finally started grabbing guys and going, hey, come over here with me. I got as many guys away as I could. They lit that thing. Before the guys could turn around, it went off. They all had burns up the side of them, everything.
Yeah, when I was about 6, lived on a farm, and we had a bunch of guests over on 4th of July. And those little tiny ladyfinger firecrackers. Mm-hmm. Some kids stuffed a whole string of those in my back pocket and set them off. It was exciting, but I didn't burn.
Hey, I just wanted to introduce my good friend Chewy and my mentor, Chewy Rios, to everybody.
Hello, Chewy.
Hey, Chewy, how you doing?
How you doing, people?
How's your arm feeling?
You recovering all right from your lathe accident?
Yeah.
That's good.
They're all suspicious
that was not
Chuck had something to do with that.
No. Well, I gave him the gloves that he had.
There
on.
you go.
Yeah. It was all Chuck's idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the thing is, it can happen to any one of us. It's just, it can happen to any one of us if we're just not looking. It happens.
Yeah. It's
I've got 47 plus years in the business, and I can't tell you how many times in all those years I've used gloves. But this time, I'll tell you, I had enough sandpaper, a strip of sandpaper, that it literally caught the gloves and just pulled my left hand in. Of course, it broke my hand, broke the 2 bones above the wrist. One of the bones was knocked out of the arm completely. So I'm about 85% back. I don't think it's going to get any better than that.
And you were stuck there for 20 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter had gone out for coffee, and my wife was upstairs in the master bedroom, and she couldn't hear me. So I sat there for 20 minutes while the chuck jaws were eating up my arm. And I finally got to the point where it was slinging blood so bad that I just put my whole arm into the chuck, trying to put pressure on it to stop it. And ironically, when my daughter finally did show up and heard me screaming for help, the chuck wasn't even turning anymore. I had burned up the bell completely. physically holding it. So
Wow.
it's quite a story, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey,
Scary.
real quick,
I'm glad you made it through.
Yeah.
That's,
real quick story. I went to buy some inserts from a guy yesterday, and we got talking about stuff. And I mentioned to him about Chewy, and he goes, "Well, I was in the Naval Reserves, and there was a guy in the training class that kept leaving the chuck key in the chuck, and then he'd fire up the lathe and throw the chuck key." He said, "So the instructor." They told everybody in the class to always watch this guy, but they ended up tying the chuck key with a string around the guy's neck and said he started it down, just to teach him a lesson.
yeah. When I'm teaching the kids on teaching the members on the lathe authorization, that's the one thing I'll spank them on really hard is leaving that chuck key in the lathe.
Yeah.
I tell them, don't take your hands off of it for any reason.
Mhm.
Just pull it out and set it aside and grab it. I know it's a little more inconvenient, but I don't want somebody walking by and getting hit in the head because you forgot to pull it out.
When I was taking my night school there, I was trying to figure out why all the lathes were staggered in echelon angled formation until one guy left his chuck key in the machine the one night. It was one of those big Advance 16 by 40s, and he lit her up, and that chuck key flew across the shop. I was 2 lathes behind him, and it was, that woke me up.
Widen to the left.
Duck and cover.
Wow.
Yeah, but as far as fireworks, though, you're talking about, maybe just talking about fireworks and stuff. We don't have access to a lot of the good stuff like you folks do down south of the border. Up here in Canada, things are a little more controlled that way. But I do remember as a teenager, one of my buddies and I got a hold of, they're just little guys. I mean, you guys would probably consider them just firecrackers, but to us, these were cool. Well, let's just say that the fuse wasn't long enough and my buddy was dropping it into a beer bottle. And it must have been something with how it echoed or some pressure wave or something like that. That thing was ridiculously loud when that bottle came apart, and my ears rang for about 3 days afterward. Now, no glasses or nothing. So on our eyes, I'm just glad we didn't want to shrapnel in our eyes, but that was when we quit playing with them for that afternoon. So
I don't know about the current fireworks, but when I was a young guy and interested in them, they had cherry bombs, which were, big round red ones. And then they had TNT, which was a long round one with a fuse in the middle. And that one would destroy your garbage can, that TNT. Would you light it and stuff a garbage can upside down over it, and it just blow the bottom out.
We called those M80s back in the day.
Yeah, they were M80s, and those were dangerous. So I think they were classified as an eighth of a stick of dynamite. No, my mom had just bought brand new trash cans, the metal ones with the really tight closing lids.
Yeah.
And if you light an M80, throw it in there and put the lid on loosely, all it does is launch the lid up. But we slammed the lid down and it caught. Some of those metal cans, they fit really tight. Well, we put the lid on it and we didn't think we had enough time to loosen it up. And that thing went off and the lid didn't go, but that trash can just blew out instead of up. And we destroyed her brand new trash can, and she was pissed.
Greg Ward already beat me to it.
Yeah,
Like
I was only about 12 or 14 at the time, but we destroyed a brand new trash can of hers.
We made ourselves.
Those lids catch pretty tight.
Over here, it was not really easy to find the hard stuff. These small little puff things, no problem. But we wanted more. And in a drugstore, we could, at that time, we could buy the basic materials to make gunpowder. Not the black powder, but the white. I don't remember the formula anymore. And we put it in copper tubes, water pipe tubes, you see. One side soldered, put the powder in, and the other side with aluminium foil. We closed it, and inside was a light bulb. And that light bulb, first we pinched the glass, and then see that the filament was not was intact. and then we soldered 2 wires on it, and then with a battery, and bang. And as Stan said, in a trash can, it gave a bang, and there was no trash can anymore.
You're building pipe.
The lid never to be found again. All the can was a bit like a snowman, you see, full of holes. That was dangerous, really dangerous. Yeah.
You're building pipe. You're building pipe bombs.
Yeah, I think the correct term for that is a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
So as a kid, me and my dad, he had this drive axle or drive shaft that he cut the end of it off and put a hole down at the other end, and we'd stuff tennis balls down it, and he'd fill it full of acetylene and light it off. And it threw that tennis ball. I don't know. You couldn't even see it.
That's what they do in the Netherlands.
Yeah, beer cans, not the standard size, but the long, skinny ones with stuff down there. Talk about crushing cans. That was quite fun to fire that thing off on the 4th of July, just sitting there, not even putting anything in it, just setting it off with that big old report. It was just epic.
Just making a big bang, that's all.
Yeah. And the flame that would shoot out of that thing, 4 or 5 feet, worth of flame.
The oxygen and acetylene bombs are fun, but the trick is setting them off and not being around.
Yeah.
We finally found a way to set them off. We were just blowing up balloons. The difference between a balloon this big and this big is massive. So we blew up a very small a mix of oxygen and acetylene, and at that point, that thing is, you just treat it like, stay away from it. But we would get copper wire out of an extension cord, the very fine copper wire, and we'd tape it to the balloon, and then we'd hook up a positive and negative to an extension cord and go plug it in 100 feet away. And that's the only way we could safely ignite one of those balloons. And no, they're pretty thunderous. I mean, it's a very, and you don't want to be around when those things go off.
No, absolutely not. No.
And we were mixing about 80% oxygen, 20% acetylene right in there. So it already had a pretty good mix. I don't know how we survived.
Well,
That's why there's more boy babies born than girls. So even out time you get up to your teens.
Yeah. Well, one of the few times I ever actually yelled at one of my students when I was teaching, I was over on the one side of the shop. Here's, "Boom! Holy! Don't tell Falky!" I heard. So, okay, fine. I'll go check that one out. Whatever in the corner. The one kid was taking Tim Hortons coffee cups, filling it with acetylene. Thank God he was wearing all his welding gear or whatever, then taking the sparker. It just shredded the cup. And yeah, he was sweeping the class for the whole shop for the rest of the class. And if I could have throttled the student, I probably would have. But that was one of the few times I ever yelled at one of my students.
Just the one class or the whole rest of the whole semester?
Oh. He was normally a good kid. The thing is, every now and then, even the ones who are normally well behaved have crazy ideas. Well, we all did. We had crazy ideas go through our heads. So that was one of those days.
I don't want to put ideas in any of your kids' heads, and hopefully they're not watching. But a favorite welder's trick is you take a small soup can or a small coffee can, and you turn it upside down. You fill it up with acetylene, and you just go set it on the welding table. And then acetylene's heavier than oxygen, so it goes to the top of the can and just stays there. And it's just waiting for a stray spark to fly over there, and the can goes up and scares the hell out of the welder, whoever's there welding. So it could actually sit there for days before it gets ignited. It just needs a source of ignition.
I'll admit to something really funny. I mean, it's funny to me now, but when I was in high school, welding was one of the classes I went to try and take. And the first day of class, the teacher did the balloon demonstration with the gas. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as a younger kid, I was kind of hesitant to do that. So as soon as the balloon demonstration was over with, I stood up and I laughed. I never went back to that. Now I wish I'd have just stayed, because I would have just learned so much. And it's not like I didn't have any experience with
welding is fun.
It was fun. But,
what we did when one of the students was welding, while he didn't know, we took the oil can and then we put oil on his weld while he was welding. And then you had all these flames and smoke and all. And then, what are you doing? Barbecue or what?
Yeah, up till then, I had only ever seen stick welding. So I thought this guy was, what the heck is he talking about? Gas? It just blew my mind. I had no idea that it took gas to weld. I had only ever seen stick welding. So I thought, it scared me, the explosion that this thing made. But more than that, it was just like, I mean, to tell you the truth, I right then and there, I thought, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It was just so far from anything I had imagined having to do with welding that I said, this isn't for me. So I took electronics, real basic electronics in high school. And then when my son went to high school a few years back, I went in there and talked to his counselor because I was upset that he couldn't get welding or wood shop or auto shop. Then I just went straight into the counselor's office, and she looked at me like I was crazy. She says, they don't offer any of that stuff anymore. I was like, what do you mean? They don't offer wood shop? They don't offer welding? They don't offer auto shop? I was just oblivious to the fact that all that stuff is just gone from my high schools.
Yeah, I think Mr. Pete was on the last end of it.
Or any school. There's not even any trade school. I think the local college offers welding and construction.
The local community college here has got auto mechanics and welding, and I think that's as far as they go with that. You was going to tell us about working in a fireworks factory, Memo.
Oh yeah. So that's another funny little thing. When I was a child, 8 to 10 years old, maybe, I don't remember which, I actually worked making fireworks. At this guy's house. He had the whole house set up to make just fireworks. And I'm not talking about those lighted ones or those ones that sparkle. No, he used to make just what you guys would call cherry bombs. We would call them megatones. So they are, what it consists of is the rod is the paper rod is would be a little bit over half an inch, I think, and then the length on them was about 2 inches. So they were powerful enough to take off a couple of fingers.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I worked, I think, 3 seasons with the guy. We never had an accident. And as far as I know, the guy never had an accident. That doesn't mean that people should do it. It was just one of those things that back then I didn't think anything of it. All the neighborhood kids did it. All the neighborhood kids worked at this guy's fireworks manufacturer, whatever you want to call it. And the most dangerous, the guy would always tell us, there's no danger in the fireworks themselves. The danger is making the what do you call the little string that actually lights it up?
The fuse.
Fuse?
The fuse. There you go. Yeah, so the fuse, when they're making that fuse, that is the most dangerous part of fireworks making. That's what he said. And it seemed real basic to me, but that's the one thing he wouldn't allow anybody else to do. He would just do it himself. It was this older guy. He would string it up like a clothesline all around his yard, and then he would apply the element, whatever it takes to make it light. I think on it now, I'm like, there's no way I'd let my 20-some-year-old son work at that place, let alone a child, But it's just the kinds of things that back then they didn't think twice about doing it, But like I said, we never had an accident, and the guy stopped letting us work on them because his son would like steal some of the powder away, and he would make these fireworks, but they weren't fireworks, man. Those were sticks of dynamite. And so he would make a few of them on his own, and he would just show off for the rest of us. When the season was over, we would all get some fireworks and stuff, and he'd have these huge sticks of dynamite. Well, we would just play in the streets. We'd toss them in their buckets, throw them at different things, see how they would react to them and water, all that stuff. Well, this kid, he was a little bit older than us. He was like 14, 15, 16, something like that. So he throws one of them, and it goes under a neighbor's car. And the car got damaged quite a bit. It didn't blow over, nothing like that. We lucked out, but I mean the car was ruined. It messed up the bottom of the floor pan in the cab. So inside the underlayment of the carpet and stuff, that all got damaged. And so that was the end of the fireworks for us. They didn't let us work on them no more.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. What ignorance will allow you to do, I guess. I mean, of course, it was ignorant on our part, but we were just kids. This guy, I don't know, I think maybe he should have thought twice about having kids work on fireworks. But such is life.
We were doing some fume hoods at an armory down in Wilmington district. And the way they arrange those places, it's an ammunition factory, and they're very strict when you work in those places. All your tools, I had to go out and buy special tools. All your wrenches were bronze, like a naval bronze wrenches. Your hammers are all soft faced. No electric tools, all pneumatic tools is all you're allowed to do. Even cutting with a sawzall or a portaband is controlled. You know, anything that can throw the slightest spark. Because I mean, you go up high on a scissor lift up in the rafters of these places, and all the piping and everything up in the rafters. It's got a black dust up there. That's gunpowder. It's airborne. It's everywhere. And you know, after you see the gravity of that, it's a scary place to work in. And the way they had the buildings arranged, the buildings were all 100 foot by 50 foot. They're all concrete buildings, and they were all separated by like another 80 feet. And there'd be another 100 foot by 50 foot building, and then another one, and then another one. So they could blow up one building and it wouldn't catch the whole place on fire. But there were very small, contained, highly regulated buildings, and just a lot of copper, a lot of brass, a lot of aluminum. And when you start working with brass tools, it sucks. Those wrenches, they spread. You know, as soon as you start using the wrench, it spreads out. Doesn't fit good anymore. I had a bronze crescent wrench that I bought. It cost me a fortune, but what a piece of crap. And I bought all those tools just to work at that armory. Interesting.
Yeah, those are delicate.
You reminded me of when I was 16, my uncle had the blue toilet cleaner you put in the tank and the water would be blue. I worked there as a summer kid, and you're talking about the dust on the pipes. Well, this blue dye was in the air. And so at the end of the day, you blow your nose, you'd have blue snot, your tongue would be blue, just all the time. And so there was an old guy there, Chester, that ran the dye plant. And I was at 16, I was running the forklift between the two warehouses and stuff. And I jump on the forklift one day and start driving out. And he calls you Joe. Hey, Joe. And I keep driving. And everybody in the plant's yelling at me. Hey, Chester's calling you. I drive out the door. I go do this. I come walking back in, and I walk up to Chester, and he goes, "Didn't you hear me calling you?" I says, "No." I says, "I heard you call a guy named Joe, but my name ain't Joe. My name's Chuck." And from that on, I got his respect from that on, that old bastard. But the end of the one day, my best friend, he had to go, he had to leave, and I says, "Hey, Chester needs a barrel move." So he went over there to Chester to help him, and he comes back to me on the other side of the warehouse, just cussing. And the front of his clothes were blue, his mouth was blue, his eyes were weak. He went and moved the damn dye barrel by hand. Oh, so the guy was so pissed at me.
Very, very similar over there. There's a lot of airborne dust, and it was gunpowder. And you blow your nose at the end of the day, it's a dark gray. Yeah. And you get this dull afternoon headache. You breathe enough gunpowder in, it gives you a headache. That place was no fun to work in.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Nope.
No, thank you.
But paid good.
Should have got hazard pay.
I should have, but I didn't.
Yeah. Everything that's unpleasant or hazardous usually pays better than the rest.
Usually, but you know what? How I got paid for that fireworks adventure I used to take? The guy was he was a good businessman, I guess. At the end of the season, he would tell us, "All right, I'm either going to pay you." This was in Mexico, so he would. I don't remember the amount. The currency changed anyway. So let's just say I'm going to give you 50 pesos in money, cash. You can either have 50 pesos cash, or I'll give you 100 pesos in fireworks. We're like idiots. We would all take twice the amount in fireworks. So we basically made fireworks and earned fireworks.
But did you go sell them or did you go blow them off?
No, man. You know what we did with them. We went to blow them up. Why would we sell them? They were perfectly good fireworks. They're the best you could get in town because this guy, he made really good fireworks. He would, of course, he was an underground manufacturer, but he sold them to all the established businesses. He made the best fireworks in town. You know, so he had a good
Where
amount.
was he? What town?
This was in Mexicali, in
Okay.
Baja, right
Okay.
south of the right south of the border. You cross the border through the Calexico port, which is east of San Diego. That's the very first city that there is. It's
Okay.
Mexicali. It's the capital of Baja California.
We used to go into town down in Ensenada and pick up fireworks, and then there used to be a campground, south of Rosarito. I don't remember the name of it, but there was a little campground up on the cliffs looking out at the ocean. We just light off bottle rockets, over the ocean, and that was good times. That was before Pappas and Beer moved.
Yeah. When I was a kid, you could buy fireworks anywhere. I mean, little neighborhood stores sold fireworks. And we used to love them. But we were foolish enough to fall for that scheme, I guess you would call it. We were so happy we got paid twice. We got paid twice what we were supposed to get. We just got it in fireworks.
Just take the money and run.
Yeah, we should have taken the money and ran, but we took the fireworks instead and blew up half the neighborhood.
You'd have probably had more fun with the fireworks than you'd have had with the money anyway.
Yeah, that's probably true. It had gone to, what do they call it? There's a saying in Spanish that means you buy whistles and sodas with it. Pitos y sodas. It means you just buy whistles and sodas with a gun for. Comic books, of course, probably.
Yeah, when I was a kid, comic books were a big thing. You could spend hours at your buddy's house reading all his old comic books. Never say a word to each other for about 3 hours.
Yeah. It was a big thing back then. Comic books.
When I was a young
I
teenager.
don't know how it is in the States, but here in Belgium now, firecrackers and fireworking is very restricted. It's very, how you say, you can buy some, but there is a maximum dose you can buy, and they're all these crappy, useless little fireworks. It's not the fun anymore than we had years ago, because in the 80s there were communist attacks here in Belgium, and then they started to restrict, and then there was New York 9/11, and then 9/11, not 9/11, 9/11, and then they restricted more and more, and now it's almost impossible. Years ago, the people from the Netherlands came here in Belgium to buy fireworks, and now it's reversed. Now it's the Belgians that go buy in the Netherlands, but you can buy almost nothing. That reminds me a little story one of my colleagues told me. It's not mine, so I suppose it's true. I'm not sure. For the New Year, midnight, always lots of fireworks. And he thought, hey, that's fun, all this noise. And he goes inside and he takes his, how you say, his gun, his hunting gun, yeah? And he fires in the sky, bang, bang, and he makes noise and everybody's happy. And 10 minutes later, the neighbor come see him and ask him, do you still have TV? Because my house, no TV anymore. And then he checks, oh no, here also no TV anymore. In fact, what happened when he was shooting in the air, he shot the cables from television and electricity. So electricity was no problem, still worked, but there was no TV anymore. That's what he told us. I'm not sure it's a real story, but knowing the guy, it could well be a real story.
I think the limit here in the U.S. is what, 500 grams per firework.
Something like that.
Now, here I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
I
either.
don't play with fireworks anymore. I have my
me,
gas cannon, and that's good.
me neither. You know, I used to buy fireworks for my son, my oldest son. He's now 21, so this was a while back. I used to buy him fireworks, you know, every year. You know, I guess would be our fireworks a day, like the 4th of July is in Mexico, is September 16th. And so there's always a lot of fireworks, just like the 4th of July here. I stopped doing it because I bought him a few, an assorted set, I guess they would sell. And the sparklers, you know, you think of the sparklers as pretty harmless, right? You just you wave them around and make that little spark. Well, I couldn't get one to light, so I just kept doing it. But these were like, it's a straw. It's a plastic straw like you would drink a soda with, and then it's dabbed on there, the spark.
I didn't see anything.
And
like
I could
that.
just kept heating it up. And I got it to light, and the minute it lit, boom, it popped. It actually popped, and it burnt my thumb so bad. I was so glad that I didn't used to let him light the fireworks. You know, I would light them, I would toss them, whatever. That's it. That was the last straw. I never bought fireworks for him again. The thing is, fireworks, I think, are relatively safe if handled properly and if they're made properly. But some of the stuff they make nowadays, especially out there in Mexico, they're junk. They're dangerous, you know. So,
Hey, can I bring in?
Aren't sparklers made out of magnesium?
I don't know what they're made out. Yeah, I think so. So what it was is these were like they were called traditional, or what do they call it when they say something? Oh, like artisan or artisanal. So they were on a plastic straw, just like a soda straw, and they would dip them in the stuff that they make it with, which probably is magnesium. And then at the end of this particular one, it was kind of balled up. Well, I didn't think nothing of it. I just kept trying to light it, and as soon as it lit, pow! It made this big old pop, and some of the stuff jumped onto my thumb, so it kind of dug into a little bit. I got no scar or nothing like that, but you know, that'd have been the kid. You know, maybe the gun in his face or something.
No. They still have the pyrotechnics class over at Azusa Pacific University, and their final grade is tonight, 4th of July. They got a big show over at the college. That's probably where we're going tonight. It's just one valley over, but they always have a big show every year. But
That's cool.
They still teach pyrotechnics over there at the university.
But if you're saying, Billy, that it's 500 grams per unit maximum, still, that's a half a pound. That's over half a pound. That's something.
Yeah.
But that's cool, Stan. I didn't realize they like basically hype your end project. That'd be fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, and there's still a need for that. You still got concerts and professional fireworks displays and things like that. If you're going full pro with it, I've seen some real pro setups. You know, Dodger Stadium, football stadiums, stuff like that. You know, when the halftime show at Super Bowl, there's still a need for these people that are. I mean, a person that doesn't know anything is more dangerous than a person that does know something.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have that.
I may have that wrong. It may be 50 milligrams. I'm looking
50
it
milligrams or 50 grams.
I don't know. I'm looking. 50 milligrams.
That's not that much.
But I'm thinking the ones I'm talking about were the multis. If they're multis, I think they can like have 50 or 500 for the whole unit. I don't know. I'm still looking.
Yeah, because even 50 grams, and before somebody said 500 grams, that's a lot. 50 grams is still a lot of exposure.
Yeah, it is.
I'm thinking you're probably talking about milligrams.
Hey, can I ask a machinist question?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Wait, what? Did I join?
You make us work?
Yeah, we're in the.
Let's see. Where is it?
Right there.
Where's my camera? So
Lift up a little bit.
anybody have any experience with one of these? This is an Aloris. It's an adjustable.
Yeah, it's a swinger.
It's a swinger, 12 degrees. And then it also, where is it? Right there. You can change the rake on the cutter also.
That's cool.
And this
I don't
my lathe.
see how you change the rake. I see how you change the angle.
right here, let's see, right there. Get the light right. See the little,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's very cool.
So you
So
can,
there's
you can make your tool negative or positive or whatever you wanted.
There's an Allen in the back to lock the rake.
Yeah.
So anybody ever use one of these?
No.
No, but I want to.
Send it on over.
The interesting, I'm still playing with it. One was getting a insert that was cutting. I had lots of inserts here that just were making a mess. I picked these up the other day. I was trying to get a positive insert. This is a negative. But the interesting thing is, after you set the rake, if you were to go the other way, right? If you got the rake to go this way, then if you turn the cutter the other way, now you got to change the rake, right?
Every time you swing it, you have to change
Every time you swing it, you're screwing with the rake. It schools out. And then you can also turn it 90 degrees and you can bore with it also.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, pick this up. It's an expensive tool. I paid $60 for it, which was a good buy.
That's a good price.
Yeah, it was a good price.
Yeah.
But nobody's used it. I'm school's still out on it. I'm hoping somebody's can lesson me on it somewhat. And then it goes both sides of the tool post.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can-
for a B?
Is that a BXA
That
or
could
AXA?
That's an AXA.
It's pretty versatile if it will also go on both sides.
That's very cool.
Hey, can you send me some pictures of that?
Sure. You gonna build one?
Is anyone
I was
familiar with
thinking-
anyone
I
familiar
was
with the KD?
thinking, I was thinking more of
KD?
stealing yours.
Oh,
Is anyone familiar with the KDK tool holders?
no.
No. Well, I had a guy tell me I've got a 200 on the Monarch, and he's trying to tell me I have and my serial number is 2.
Huh.
Just 2. He's trying to tell me I've got the second KDK ever built,
Wow.
but I'm trying to find someone that's a little more schooled on KDK.
Huh.
That's kind of a Southern California thing. They were out of SoCal down in, I don't know, Torrance or something.
Tapmatic was down by you too, right?
Tapmatic, yep. So is
Yeah.
Ralton Tools over in Irwindale.
Yeah. Tapmatic built all sorts of different things.
Yep.
I've got one of their tapping heads. I love it.
Yeah.
Of course, I seldom ever have enough holes to thread and need it.
Yeah.
Did you see that tapping head I got off of Tom Lipton? That was before you got there, by the way.
Yes. I'm
What?
late.
I had a viewer send in one of those automatic tapping heads just because he had an extra one. I thought it was pretty cool. Thing is, what I wound up doing is because of the height of it, I wound up buying a drill press so I could lower the table so I could actually use it at some point.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
What is that a 2?
Yeah.
Is that
It's a
a
Morse
2?
taper 2.
One?
It fits right in my drill press.
Well, what's the head? Is it a number 2 head?
That is a number. Yeah, I think
Looks like a number 1.
It's a size number 1, style E.
Yeah.
Hey, I was making my collets myself for mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this didn't come with any collets. I gotta see what I can get for that.
I'll have to look. You reminded me years ago, Lipton sends me a photo off of Craigslist and he goes, look back in that photo, look in the very back. And there was a tapping head. He goes, better go get it.
There you go.
So
No, he
those
had
ones-
this. It already had a Morse taper to it. Dropped right into my machine like it belonged there.
So
It's been
Stan,
there forever.
that thing's using collets then?
It
That was
uses
used-
collets to hold the taps. Yep.
Okay.
What
There-
size
there
is
you
that
go.
one, Chuck?
There you go, Stan. It's a number 1 and it's a E.
Number 1E, same as mine.
Yeah, and it's
Don't the collets still have a square shank in them?
yeah.
Yours looks newer.
It just puked oil on my computer.
Nice.
Oh,
I think mine's a little more vintage than yours. Mine's pretty old compared to yours.
Yeah, it looks like up to, what is it, a 1/4 inch up to what?
I don't know. 3/16.
Yep, 1/4 to 3/16. Okay.
Yeah, it's a number 1E. But it's vintage, but the thing works fine.
I had the 1E and I ended up selling it because my mill has a tapping setting on it. So I can tap right there.
Yeah, my drill press is reversible. It's got the forward and reverse with the limit switch on it, so you can adjust the reverse switch. So
Yeah,
I can do tapping on it.
Right on the handle, it's got buttons. You hit the button and it reverses.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the collets look like there, Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are those the ones you made?
No, I'll show you. Let's see, find my version I made. There's a blank where I started.
Mm-hmm.
And the deal was you can't do the broach. Yeah, I think I made this guy right here.
Mart, I do not think they hold on the square. I do believe they only clamp down on the round. I don't think they hold on the square.
I was looking at some different things to looking at some of those pneumatic tapping systems, and they have different collets and stuff, but I couldn't find a standard. They've got 3 or 4 different standardizations, but I couldn't find a rhyme or reason to them to match up to anything that I had at the house for taps.
Hey Stan, I got two 10s. I got 2 6s.
What are we playing? Go fish?
I got 3 6s.
Okay. Jen. All right. You want to trade those for something?
Just for your love, honey.
All right. Don't get wise with me.
I got a 6, an 8, and a 6 and an 8 and a 10 I can send you.
Sold.
They're extras, yeah. And then I can send you the blanks if you want to make a 1/4.
No, I got a 1/4 right here.
Oh, you got a 1/4? Okay, There you go. Oh, that was my there's my attempt. This is my attempt at making a broach to broach the square. There is a square in the back of that dude.
Okay.
But it didn't live.
There's a square in the back of each collet?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, Mart, I guess it does hold on the square. It didn't look like it from here. That's interesting. Someone just asked that question on the feed.
My Tapmatic holds on the square, but the collets are made of a section of rubber, and a section of metal, and a section of rubber like that, round in a circle. And I have 2 collets, one for smaller taps, and one for bigger ones.
Yeah, it's just to hold the tap in there. It doesn't actually drive the tap.
No, the square on the tap goes up into a little connection right there inside the Tapmatic, where you screw the screws down. They go to screw it down on the square, and that turns the tap.
Would you actually be able to hold it from the square? I mean, it's not just a guide.
No, that's what the rubber's for. The rubber grips it and keeps it up in the tapping head.
Yeah. See, there's a number 6, and if I put it in, if you put it in a little bit, I can spin it. But if you go all the way in, it locks.
Okay, so it does catch on the square. I'll be darned.
It does catch on the square. Yeah.
So the round part of the collet just holds it centered, and the squares what does the driving.
So kind of like registers it. The round part registers it, and the square part is what keys it in, or would drive it actually.
See, that's why I was curious when you said yours was using collets, because
I got blanks. If you want one, I'll send you one.
No,
I started making them.
I bought my Tapmatic off eBay, and it was damaged. Had a broken part inside of it. It took me about 2 weeks to get somebody at Tapmatic to send me a schematic for the thing, and then they sold me the parts, and I'd never even looked in one. I had a heck of a time putting it back together.
Yeah, when you mentioned that you're using collets, what had me surprised was this is one that a viewer sent to me, and this is the drive system on it. It's got the screw here, screw there that must grab from both sides.
So it pinches.
Yeah, so it pinches on the square, and then this collar here has one size. So I think I'm gonna have to make more of these guys. It's got a little hole in there for a pin spanner or whatever. So I thought they were all like this. So it's interesting to hear about the collets. This one's an Etco. Crud, I'm getting old. I have to push things further away. Etco Emmerich number 2B. No, seriously, I used to be able to do close work here. Now I have to do it here.
Yeah. Phone right there.
I'm over 40. The 40 bomb.
It's not getting better, Everett.
Yeah, the 40
It's not
bomb went
getting
off.
better.
The 40 bomb went off, and my perfect vision's no longer perfect. But yeah, I was just rather fascinated when you're talking about collets because I got that. I have to make more of these guys, but I was, like I say, I was actually really tickled. Somebody sent me this just because they had a few extras, and so I haven't had a chance to play with it yet because my shop's still a mess. But Stan, you're talking about using a drill press. I actually wound up buying a drill press so I can use this more because of how high it is. You end up losing a lot of height from your quill, right? So I got a decent sized drill press so I can lower the table for it. But no, that's cool. I didn't realize your guys uses collets. Hey, Joel.
How does it work in these collets for different sizes of squares?
Yeah.
Is there a locking system or is it a...
That's what the set screws are for, right?
I don't know. Chucky knows.
What's that?
How does it work to hold on? So the tap is held in the collet, but if you have different sizes square, how does it fit on the square? Is it adjustable?
Each collet, you have to have a collet for each tap.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then they fit the square.
Yeah.
So this is show you the size difference. This is off the bigger tapping head. Where the hell's the camera? There it is. Come on. You can see the difference in size. Wherever.
Can you get your big fingers out of the way?
Somewhere there.
Little monkey.
Maybe I should look at the part instead of the goddamn camera. Pardon my...
Your monetization, Howard.
Don't worry, I get it. I don't have a tapping head, so I don't have this problem. I was just curious.
It's amazing that somebody thought up the concept of the tapping head in the first place.
Yeah.
I could do taps all day just to watch the little sucker reverse itself.
Now, you have this one, Harold, don't you?
Yeah, I got no. Mine's a Tapmatic.
Hey Harold, have you seen that guy? There's another YouTuber. You guys probably seen him, Andrew Camarata.
No,
he's a kid that built that castle using shipping containers. You guys should check it out. Andrew Camarata. He's an Italian fellow. He's got a drill. I'm sure it's not the first one, but it's the first time I've seen it. It's especially great for tapping because you push the trigger, and if you're pushing forward, it drives forward. And then you don't have to let go of the trigger, or you can, of course, but you don't have to reverse it. You just pull back on it, and it gears back.
Mm-hmm.
well, that's the way the Tapmatic works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the way the Tapmatic works. But I think Harold, I think you're the guy I'd ever first seen the Tapmatic on, and then I saw this drill. I thought, wow, that's great. And it's not huge or anything like that. It looks just like it has a little extension between the chuck and the drill. I'm talking about maybe it looks like it adds maybe 2 inches. And I've seen him use it a lot. You know, he does a lot of stuff, and
This is
I
another.
haven't seen him have any problems with it.
So this guy, this Enco tapping head. God damn it!
Back up. Pull it back. There you go.
There you go. This guy takes one of these type of collets,
It was like the rubber flex, right?
the rubber clutch, and then Everett, just what you were talking about. This guy actually has set screws on both sides. It only goes up to a 1/4 inch, but
think
for
the
smaller
Jacobs is
taps,
like
you got to
that.
tighten the set screws onto the tap head.
Yeah, so it pinches it.
Yeah. Did you ever go look at buying these guys?
Those things are pricey.
Oh yeah,
They are
that's the same
expensive.
thing the Tapmatic uses.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I'd like to get a tapping head.
$45 a piece.
I don't have one. I need to get one.
Well, I just thought it was funny, Harold. You were actually the inspiration for me to rewire my old benchtop mill to do reverse because it was like, hey, Harold's got reverse. I want reverse.
Yeah.
Turns out it was just your Tapmatic head, and I didn't realize it.
All right, that's a Jacobs there, and there's the square
Okay.
driver.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then you tighten that set screw right there.
Mhm.
Then those pinch in and center up equally.
Mhm.
And then at the bottom, it uses the Jacobs rubber flex.
Oh.
There you go.
Yep.
So,
How
And
big
this-
will that go?
It'll have a 1/2 inch. It's got a 1/2 inch drive.
Huh.
It's got a 1/2 inch square drive, so you just put it on a ratchet to thread a hole.
Uh-huh.
We use these in the field to tap holes up 32 feet in the air. But that's the setup there. But that'll squeeze down on the square right there and be adjustable. So the actual part that drives the tap is separate from the part that centers the tap.
so that makes me wonder if there's something like that similar in there. I haven't had this collar off yet, so
I bet you there's like a collet in there or something
I
that you
wonder.
can change, because I think your square driver part,
yeah, that
yeah, that looks real similar to mine. That's gonna spread
Yeah.
in and out equally, so it'll fit on any size square.
I'm
Yeah, I
thinking try and take that set screw out of it, Everett, and see if it'll wind out. You likely
Yeah.
find the same exact piece that they're showing.
Yeah.
Does anybody use these guys? They're Irwin.
Yes, I've got a set of those. Those are pretty good,
Yeah.
except they drop the damn
You can run
taps
them with,
out every
you can
time.
run them with an impact, 1/2 inch or 3/8. They break
These-
taps really nice. They really break taps well.
Yeah.
Y'all stay tuned. I got something coming in for that. It's a contraption I'm making for using those exact things for tapping using a drill. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Andrew buy that tapping gun that Lipton had? He had that Black & Decker
I
tapping
wasn't
gun.
there yet. I wasn't there yet.
Oh, it was just what Mimo was talking about. You just leave it. You set the drill on full speed, turn and lock the trigger on.
Uh-huh.
You push in, tap in, and just pull back, and it reverses
Oh,
and
really?
pulls it back out. And it had an adjustable clutch, which was nice.
That's a very good system to work very quickly. As you say, stand in the field somewhere or in a building yard.
Yep.
If you have to tap 200 holes, you hold your machine hand up and you go. And after 20 holes, you're tired of it, and then it's 180 to go. But it
Yeah.
works.
We have to drill and tap a lot of I-beam, and we're usually 15 to 20 feet in the air. And, you're not getting a machine up there. So you don't even feel like dragging a mag drill around for those.
No.
Yeah, I don't remember the brand that he has. It may be a Black & Decker.
Well, it was the old
But
Black & Decker
I still-
industrial
I mean, that
line.
does-
Those were
probably-
good tools.
Yeah, this guy, he does I think he's property maintenance is what he says, but he has a lot of heavy duty equipment. So and he fixes, like if there's a part broken and he can fix it. He's a do it yourself kind of guy. So I've seen him use this thing quite a bit. And
I know Hilti has the same system. Yeah.
Hilti stuff's pretty expensive though. Probably the
Absolutely.
Black &
yeah.
Decker line that you're talking about
Yeah.
is probably expensive as well. But
Yeah.
I use 1/4-20 and everything I screw together because I got a whole bucket of 1/4-20 taps at an auction one time.
Hey, Chewy, remember this?
Yeah.
Chewy would always come over and work at my shop. We would ask the screwy ball if it was a fail or was good. Anybody got a question for the screwy ball?
Yeah. Are we going to get new viewers from this live stream?
It is directly so.
Oh, there you go, Billy. See, it's been a success.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say
the screwy ball tells the truth.
This-
Man.
The screwy ball, it comes true a lot.
I've got some
Was it?
bearings that I was gonna make a screw ball out of.
Hey, Screwball, is Chuck ever going to send my tapping collets?
Yes, sir. It'll be into Mondays, Tuesdays mail.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Did you get your shirts I sent out?
Oh yeah, I got everything. Thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Really
I got
appreciate
mine too, Stan. Thank you.
Me too.
Okay,
Thanks.
Billy got yours. Everett, did your stuff come yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive to Canada.
That
Yeah.
is.
I was rather surprised because it seems lately our
It seemed like it was only a few days. Yours went out I've shipped stuff out for 4 days straight. Yours was the first day.
oh yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got mine last week sometime. I just got through doing a video on it and some other stuff, so
Okay.
it'll be up hopefully pretty soon.
I just haven't had a chance to go through it and take a little bit of video and share and whatever yet. So I'm getting there.
I meant to tell you it arrived, but I forgot. Sorry.
Well, you did your video, so it's already been posted. We know about yours.
I got to tell you, this damn thing. I love it. I got extras. I'll send one to Chewy.
Oh, yeah.
The black book goes up to 4 inches. You can't beat this sheet for a quick reference.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
that's nice.
they're pretty durable too. I mean,
They are.
You can, yeah. I've wiped mine off a bunch of times. They get all nasty. They clean up real good with some 409 or something.
Yeah, I'll send one up to you, Chewy.
Somebody had
Right,
sent me
thank
a
you.
digital copy of the Sterrett chart like that, and I had a friend reprint it for me, and I've got it up on some poster or on some the foam board in my shop.
I'd love to have one of the metal ones.
I got one of these.
Yeah, there's a
Oh, yeah.
classic.
Yeah,
You see-
I've got one of those too.
Let's see the back of it.
Yeah, it says, does Charlie work in your shop? Yes. Does Charlie create problems? Yes.
It's got the flow chart on the back.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's a really old one.
that's a real old one. Yeah, there it is.
That's the YouTube flow chart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve, I told the guys in my video that I got a Shark River Machine hat. It's the only other channel hat that I've got. So you're in a distinguished company there. Or maybe extinguished, I'm not sure. Oh, well, I tell you what, guys, I'm kind of surprised that we had this many show up today for the 4th of July, but I really appreciate y'all showing up. That's for a fact. And we've got probably a couple of minutes left in the video. Has anybody got anything they just got to say?
Happy
No.
4th.
Happy 4th, yeah.
Same here. Happy 4th.
Yeah, happy 4th of July, to
Happy
everybody.
4th.
My dad's from Nebraska.
For
so-
us, it's the 21st of July, so.
Well, happy Canadian Day, or is it Canada Day?
Canada Day was
Yeah,
July
Canada
1st.
Day was.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Yeah, we do have fireworks and stuff, but nothing like you guys have down there. I'm originally from the East Kootenays of BC, and a buddy of mine popped down when I was a kid to Missoula, Montana, for the 4th of July one year. Oh man, you guys know how to throw a party. That was fun.
Yeah, you see, nobody overdoes it like America overdoes it. We
Yeah.
like to go over the top a little bit. You know?
The thing is, my dad's from Nebraska, so I like the 4th too. It's all good.
Well, around here, until the virus came, every community that was big enough to have houses in it would have their own fireworks display at a local park, and then the big towns like Houston and such, they'd have a fireworks display along with it. You know, so if you looked into the sky, it was lit up everywhere. But
Hey,
last year was,
Talking about Sky Herald, your video with it raining like crazy, it's just punishment for Northern California to look at that. Jeez.
Yeah, I saw that,
Yeah.
Harold. That.
We're dying.
I'm not sure that was
Sorry.
cool.
it's
How
been
we do
doing
all
that
right with
for a week.
fireworks, Chuck?
Pardon me?
Does Howie do okay with fireworks?
Yeah, I think so. I never had an issue with him about that. Yeah.
Well, around here, the insurance companies make the rules, and they're afraid you're going to catch somebody's house on fire, so they got them banned in the big towns. Little
You
towns,
should try
no
dealing
problem.
with California insurance companies. They don't like you to do anything besides breathe.
Yeah, well, that's probably a bad thing too. Remember Proposition 59, it probably causes cancer. There's that 95.
Everything
know.
causes cancer in California, Harold.
Yeah,
Everything.
it's written on everything I buy. It says, according to our proposition, such and such, this item causes cancer in California.
I think that's a political strategy to get people not to visit. You know, we're so overpopulated, so people will be afraid to come to California.
Why do
There
they keep building more houses out here? They won't stop.
Well, they
Yeah,
don't
now
stop
they
here
wanna go,
either.
No,
more
I
multifamily.
mean they say there's a housing shortage. I was just talking to somebody the other day about the housing shortage. How there's not enough homes to go around in California. Yet everywhere you look, they're building homes. I'm like,
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm
I think
not sure
that's
that makes
anywhere in the
no
world.
sense.
Yeah.
What it is
Over
they
here,
don't have.
exactly the same.
We don't have affordable housing here in California. I think that's my ignorant opinion is homes are made expensive, I think, by this so-called shortage.
You make a better profit off expensive houses. That's
Yeah,
why they
plus-
do it.
I mean, I
Higher
don't know.
percentage of profit. Okay, folks, that's our hour. I want to thank all you people that showed up to watch, and especially all these guys that showed up to talk. And as you guys know, you can stay after
everybody.
and talk all you want to.
Happy
This is
4th.
it.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Thanks a lot
Bye.
for having us,
Be
Harold. Happy 4th
Yeah,
of
happy
July.
4th, everyone.